what a day. Let's go out and play. A sweet little bunny, a smart little bunny, a cute little bunny, and friends.
Miffy was about to go on a great new adventure. "Goodbye, Mother," said Miffy as she set off for a camping trip with her friends Boris and Barbara Bear. They knew all the best places in the woods, but this time they decided to camp high on the hillside meadow behind Miffy's house. They had to climb up, and their backpacks were very heavy. But Miffy was a strong little bunny, and she was able to keep up with Boris and Barbara. At the top of the hill, the countryside looked so beautiful. It was springtime, and the meadows were full of lovely flowers. Birds and butterflies filled the air all around them. "Should we set up camp here?" asked Miffy. "I think it will be too windy on top of the hill," said Boris. "If we go a little bit down into the valley, we'll be protected from the wind." So they went down into the valley. Miffy was beginning to get a little tired. "Should we set up camp here?" asked Miffy. "I'm afraid the ground is too steep to put up our tent," said Barbara. "I see a lovely lake down there. That would be a beautiful place for our camp." So they headed for the little lake. "We can set up camp here," shouted Miffy happily. It was indeed a beautiful place, and Miffy was now very tired. "We can set up our tent," said Boris. "And you can rest, Miffy," said Barbara. "I won't rest while you work," said Miffy. "I will go to the lake and get some fresh water." "I'll come with you," said Barbara. Miffy tasted the cool water. It was delicious. Miffy told Boris and Barbara that if they would make a fire, she would cook some delicious carrot soup with the fresh carrots her mother had put in her backpack. Boris said, "That's a good idea. I brought some firewood in my backpack." And Barbara said, "I brought a pan and some bowls and spoons in my backpack." Soon it began to grow dark. They all enjoyed the delicious carrot soup by the light of the campfire. After dinner, they were all very sleepy. They said goodnight and went to bed in their tents. The sound of birds and the first rays of the morning sun awakened them. "Good morning." "Good morning," Barbara called Miffy. "Morning," said Boris sleepily. They packed up their tents and carefully cleaned the camp fireplace. They drank some fresh water and happily made their way home over the lovely hills. "Camping is such great fun," said Miffy to Boris and Barbara. "Let's do it again soon." Miffy was looking out of her window on a stormy day. The wind was blowing. Leaves were flying through the air and falling on the ground. But soon the sun came out, and the wind stopped. Once again, it was a fine, bright day. Miffy took a ball and went out to play. Miffy threw the ball high in the air. It fell to the ground and rolled next to a tree. Miffy ran to pick it up. And what do you think she saw? It was a baby bird. The storm had blown it out of its nest, and it was too young to fly. "Oh dear," said Miffy. "This poor little baby bird needs help. But what should I do?" Miffy took the bird into her house and showed it to her mother. "How can I help this poor baby bird? I think the storm blew it out of its nest. It must be hurt." Mother Bunny looked at the baby bird. "I think the bird is okay, Miffy." "Oh, that's wonderful, Mother. Can I keep it? I will wash it and feed it and make a nice little bed for it." But Miffy's mother said, "I don't think a house is the right place for this little bird. It needs its own mother. She must be looking for her baby." They looked outside and saw the mother bird flying all around the tree, looking for the baby bird. "We must put the little bird back into its nest in the tree. It's too small to fly up there all by itself." So they put the bird out onto the grass and went to get a ladder. The little bird went and made a little hop. Then it went and made 2 hops. It opened its little wings and tried to flap them. Then it went and flapped its little wings again. Miffy and her mother came back with the ladder and set it up against the tree. And just then, the little bird went. It flapped its little wings faster and faster and started to fly. It flew round and round, up and right into its nest all by itself. "The little bird is back in its nest," said Miffy. "Look! Its mother is flying home, and her baby is safe and sound." Miffy and her mother carried the ladder back inside. And Mother Bird was happy to have her baby home again. Are you ready to play Who Has More?
Yes.
Oh, good. I wonder who's playing. Oh, I think the first player is...
Miffy.
I think Miffy wants to play Who Has More with birds. Let's count how many birds Miffy found. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Miffy found 7 birds. Good job, Miffy. Now let's find out who's playing with Miffy. It's...
Boris Bear.
Whoa, Boris found a lot of birds too. Let's count how many birds Boris found. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boris found 6 birds. So if Miffy found 7 birds and Boris found 6, who found more?
Miffy.
Miffy did? Well, let's see. Yes, Miffy did find more birds than Boris. Thanks for playing Who Has More with us. Let's play again soon. Miffy and Melanie were playing together in Miffy's garden, throwing a colorful ball back and forth. Melanie threw the ball high into the air, and Miffy couldn't see where the ball landed. As she looked for the ball behind a tree, she discovered something else. It was an egg, a blue egg. "How lovely," said Miffy. She forgot all about her lost ball and looked with wonder at the little blue egg. "What do you think is inside it, Melanie?" she said. Just then, Poppy Pig came by. "I see you have a blue egg," said Poppy. "Do you think you get blue carrots from blue eggs?" "I don't think so. Carrots don't come from eggs." Melanie said, "My granny says that blue eggs have blue stockings inside of them." "I don't think so. You buy stockings in a shop. Eggs come from birds. There must be a bird's nest in one of these trees." Melanie looked up and saw a bird's nest with a big red bird sitting in it. Miffy wondered, can a blue egg come from a red bird? Poppy said, "I'm pink, and my mother and father are also pink." Melanie said, "My fur is brown, and my mother and father have brown fur too." Miffy said, "Maybe with eggs it's different. We know that yellow chicks come out of white or brown eggs." Poppy Pig lifted Miffy high enough so that she could put the blue egg back in the nest and under the red bird. The mother bird nestled over the blue egg and sang a happy song. Poppy found the lost ball. They all had great fun playing with the ball together. They laughed a lot. Suddenly, their laughter was joined by another sound. It was the cheeping of a baby bird. There it was, a tiny red bird in the nest. Miffy realized that the red bird had come from the blue egg after all. "I knew all the time that carrots don't come from eggs, Miffy," said Poppy Pig. "I was just making a joke about the blue carrots." "Me too," said Melanie. "Of course I know that stockings don't come from eggs." "Now we know that red birds can come from blue eggs," said Miffy. "How wonderful!" One morning, Miffy looked out of her window. What did she see? A beautiful kite was flying above her house. Miffy followed the kite string down to see who was flying it. Far away, at the other end, Miffy could see Poppy Pig's niece, Grunty. She seemed to be having a lot of fun. Miffy climbed onto her scooter and rode as fast as she could to Poppy Pig's house. "Good morning, Grunty. Where did you get that beautiful kite? I would like to have one too. It would be such fun. Boris Bear made it for me as a birthday present." Boris is so clever, he can make almost anything. Would you like to hold the string, Miffy, so you can see how much fun it is to fly a kite? Miffy took hold of the string and flew the kite. She had so much fun that she could hardly wait to have a kite of her own. "Thank you, Grunty," said Miffy. "I'll go and ask Boris if he'll make me a kite." Off Miffy went, riding her scooter through the forest as fast as she could. When Miffy got to Boris Bear's house, she asked him if he would make her a kite. "Yes, Miffy, I'm happy to make you a kite. But since it's not your birthday, you must help me." "But I don't know how to make a kite." "Don't worry, Miffy, I'll show you how. We'll build the kite together step by step." First, Boris took 2 thin pieces of wood, one long and one short. He placed the short piece across the long piece, and then held them while Miffy tied them together with a piece of string. Then Boris tied a longer piece of string all around the 4 ends of the wooden pieces. The frame of the kite was ready. Boris took a piece of bright red paper, cut in the shape of the frame. Now we must fold the paper over the cord and glue it, so that it will stay fastened onto the frame. Then the kite must also have a tail. Miffy took some strips of colored cloth and tied them along another cord. She attached it to the bottom of the kite. It looked beautiful. "Now we only have to attach a long piece of string," said Boris. "Then we can go out and fly the kite." Miffy held the string tightly, and Boris held up the kite so that it would catch the wind. The kite went up and up. It danced in the sky. It was beautiful. Suddenly, it sailed downwards, straight into a tree. Miffy pulled and pulled on the string, but the kite was stuck. "How shall we get the kite out of the tree?" said Miffy. She was very sad. Boris was already climbing the tree. He untangled the kite and let it fall to the ground. "The forest is not a good place to fly a kite, Miffy. There are too many trees." "I'll take the kite to my house," said Miffy. "There's not as many trees there." "Thank you so much, Boris, for this beautiful kite." Miffy took the kite home on her scooter. She had such a wonderful time flying her new kite. There were 2 lovely kites in the air. One belonged to Grunty, and one belonged to Miffy. It's time to play the same game. Do you want to play?
Yes!
Oh, good. I just love the same game. Miffy wants to have the same number of telephones as Boris. Do they have the same number of telephones?
No!
No? Who has more?
Boris!
Oh, Boris has lots more telephones. But I want to have the same number, Miffy says. Do they have the same number now?
No!
Who has more telephones?
Boris!
Boris still has more than Miffy. Do they have the same number now?
Yes, the same number.
Yes. Miffy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 telephones. And Boris has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 telephones. We have the same. We have the same. Bye. Thanks for calling. Miffy was on her way to visit her Auntie Alice. Along the way, she walked through a meadow full of colorful flowers with butterflies fluttering all around. But look! What did she see on the ground? A caterpillar was eating a leaf from one of the beautiful flowers. "Why are you eating that leaf, little caterpillar?" asked Miffy. "I'll take you to my Auntie Alice's house, and she'll give you something proper to eat." She carefully picked up the little caterpillar and carried it with her to Auntie Alice's house. Miffy found Auntie Alice busy in her garden. "What do you have there?" asked Auntie Alice. "It's a naughty caterpillar," said Miffy. "It was eating a leaf from a beautiful flower." Auntie Alice laughed. "Caterpillars must eat leaves, Miffy," said Auntie Alice. "It's what they need to make their amazing change." "What change is that?" asked Miffy. "You'll see," said Auntie Alice. "It's something so magical, you'll hardly believe it." Now Miffy was very excited. She wondered what the great change could be. Auntie Alice carefully placed the little caterpillar near some tasty leaves. "You can come each day to watch the caterpillar, Miffy, and feed it some more leaves," she said. "You'll see something very surprising." Miffy was very curious. She loves surprises, and she could hardly wait for her next visit. Each time Miffy came to Auntie Alice's house, she fed the little caterpillar more leaves, but she didn't see any change at all. "You must be patient, Miffy," said her Auntie Alice. "The surprise will come." On her next visit, Miffy was very sad. "Oh dear, look, the caterpillar is all wrapped up in white thread." "That's called a cocoon," said Auntie Alice. "The caterpillar made it. It's asleep inside." Next week, you'll see the amazing surprise. Miffy was so excited that the next week she brought her friend Aggie with her to see what in the world the amazing change would be. They watched, but nothing happened. The white cocoon just lay there, very still. Then suddenly, it began to move. It shook, and it quivered, and then it split. The two bunny girls leaned closer. Their eyes were wide with wonder. Out of the cocoon there came not a caterpillar, but something else. What was it? It crawled out. Then, what a surprise! Wings opened. It really had changed. "It's not a caterpillar anymore," shouted Miffy. "It's a butterfly." "You were right, Auntie Alice. Something magical did happen. A little hungry caterpillar has changed into a beautiful butterfly." The butterfly fluttered its new wings to say goodbye and flew away. Miffy loved colors. She looked out of her window to see which colors she could spot. She saw that the sky was blue and that the grass was green. She saw red flowers and yellow flowers in her garden. She looked at her hands. "My fur is white," she said, "and I'm wearing a blue dress." "Isn't it good that we have so many different colors?" she thought. Just then, the doorbell rang. It was Melanie. "Hello, Melanie," said Miffy. "Hello, Miffy," said Melanie. "I'm going to the playground. Do you want to come with me?" "Oh, yes," said Miffy. And the two little bunnies went off together. On the way to the playground, they walked past Poppy Pig's house. Poppy Pig's house was red, with a green roof. There were some bright yellow flowers growing in the window box. There was Poppy, just coming from her garden. She had a wheelbarrow full of fresh orange carrots. "Hello, Poppy," said Miffy. "Hello, Miffy." "Hello, Melanie," said Poppy. "What a colorful house you have, Poppy," said Melanie. "Thank you," said Poppy Pig. "Isn't it cheerful?" "Yes, it's lovely," said Miffy. Miffy and Melanie waved at Poppy and walked on. When they arrived at the playground, Miffy and Melanie played on the yellow swing. They slid down the blue slide. They went round and round on the red merry-go-round. Miffy said to Melanie, "Look, there are so many different colors everywhere." "Oh, yes," said Melanie. "Isn't that fun?" "And you have white fur, and I have brown fur. We're different colors, too." "We're different colors, but we're really the same," said Miffy. "Yes," agreed Melanie. "We're just two bunnies with different color fur." The two friends laughed when they thought of all the different colors. "There are different colors everywhere we look," said Melanie. They saw a green bird, and a blue one, and brightly colored butterflies. All around the playground there were colorful flowers. But as they began to walk home, clouds began to gather. The blue sky turned gray. "Oh dear, I'm afraid it's going to rain," said Miffy. "We'd better hurry." But then a bit of sunlight appeared, and the two friends saw the most colorful sight of all. "A rainbow!" shouted Miffy. They both thought what a beautiful and colorful world it is. Do you want to help Miffy feed Hungry Bird?
Yes!
Great! Hungry Bird is always hungry. "I'm going to feed Hungry Bird carrots," says Miffy. "Let's see how many carrots we have. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carrots. Now we should call Hungry Bird. Ready? Let's say it together. Oh, Hungry Bird! Oh, Hungry Bird! Hungry Bird just flew away with 2 carrots, says Miffy. Let's count how many are left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carrots. Look, there's Hungry Bird. And he just brought back the 2 carrots. Wow, thanks, Hungry Bird. I wonder how many carrots we have now. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carrots. Wow, that's the same number we started with. Maybe Hungry Bird isn't hungry today. Says Miffy. Not Hungry Bird. He's always hungry. How many carrots are left now?
0.
0? Oh yes, there are no carrots left. Wow, he must really like carrots. Thanks for helping me feed Hungry Bird. At Miffy's school, the children were learning about nature. Their teacher said, nature can be big things like trees and mountains. It can also be little things that you can find anywhere, even in your garden. Tomorrow, each of you must bring something from nature into our classroom. All the bunny children were excited, and they began whispering together, thinking about what they could find. When Miffy arrived home, Father Bunny was in the garden. "Father," she said, "our teacher wants each of us to bring something from nature to school. What do you think I should bring?" "Well, just look around you, Miffy. Right here in our garden, there's nature all around us." Miffy looked, and she saw a bright red apple. She saw birds flying in the sky. She saw a little worm crawling out of the ground. She saw some beautiful stones. And of course, there were many flowers all around. She didn't know what she should choose. Her father said, "In the morning, why don't you pick a nice red apple? After you show it to your class, you can eat it for lunch." Miffy thought that was a clever idea. In the morning, she went out into the garden, and just as she was about to pick the apple, a beautiful butterfly landed right on her arm. "That's it," whispered Miffy. "I'll bring this beautiful butterfly to my class." So she walked slowly and quietly toward her school, being very careful not to frighten the butterfly. "Good morning, Snuffy," whispered Miffy. "You can walk along beside me, but you must be very quiet." Snuffy wagged her tail happily. She gave a little bark, and the butterfly flew away. Miffy was very sad. Everyone else in the class had brought interesting things. Melanie had found an empty bird's nest. Winnie brought some bright-colored leaves. Aggie had a beautiful stone. They each had something from nature, but Miffy had nothing. Then Snuffy, who was waiting outside the school door, gave another happy bark, and Miffy suddenly had an idea. She raised her hand. "Please, teacher," she said. "I did bring something from nature, but I'm not sure I can bring her inside." "Her?" asked the teacher. "Do you have a friend outside?" "Yes," said Miffy. "She's my good friend Snuffy. Isn't a dog a wonderful part of nature?" All the other bunnies laughed, and so did the teacher. "Yes, Miffy," she said, "you're right. Snuffy is a lovely little dog, and she certainly is an important part of nature. Bring her in." On the first day of school, Miffy's teacher said, "Children, today we'll plant seeds in flower pots on the window ledge. And during the year, we'll watch them grow into lovely flowers." Miffy was very surprised when the teacher handed her a little black seed. How can a little black seed become a pretty flower? "It's the magic of nature," said her teacher. "All flowers start as seeds. We can grow different kinds of flowers from different kinds of seeds. After we plant it in the ground, we must water it so that it grows. Every day, Miffy watched her pot. First, a very tiny bit of green showed above the black soil. Then small leaves began to form. In just a few weeks, a tiny bud of color appeared. And in another couple of days, it opened up into a real flower. Miffy wondered if everything she planted in the ground would grow into something nice. That evening, while Miffy was helping her mother with the dishes, she told her how wonderful it was to see a flower grow from a tiny black seed. "Yes," said Mother Bunny. "Tomorrow, your father will plant some seeds and you'll see flowers grow again. Right here in our own garden." Miffy was so excited that she dropped a cup and it broke into pieces. "Oh dear," said Miffy. "I'm so sorry, Mother. I broke one of our lovely cups." She began to cry, but Mother Bunny said, "Don't cry, Miffy dear. I know it was just an accident." The next day, Miffy thought, if a lovely flower can grow from a little seed, perhaps if I plant a piece of the cup in the ground, a new one will grow. When Miffy's father was planting seeds in their garden, Miffy asked, "If I plant a piece of the broken cup, will a new one grow?" "I don't think so, Miffy," said Father Bunny. "But you can try it." So Miffy watched the little garden every day, just for fun, hoping that maybe a new cup would really grow. Gradually, many beautiful flowers appeared, but no cups. Miffy's father and mother knew that Miffy would be disappointed, so Father Bunny had an idea. When he came home that evening, he had brought a new cup. While Miffy was sleeping, he buried the new cup where Miffy had put the broken piece. In the morning, Father Bunny said, "Miffy, I think something is really coming up where you planted that piece of broken cup." Miffy ran outside as fast as she could go. Sure enough, there was a bright yellow cup handle sticking up out of the ground. Miffy pulled it out and was very surprised. "But I thought that only living things can grow from the ground," she said. Mother and Father laughed, and Father Bunny said, "Yes, Miffy dear, that is true. I bought that new cup and put it into the ground just as a little joke." And they all laughed. Grunty has a surprise for you. Do you want to see what it is?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The surprise is going to happen when we count backwards from 3. Get ready. Count down with me. 3, 2, 1.
1.
What a great surprise, says Miffy. Now Miffy has a surprise for you. The surprise is going to happen when we count down from 4. Count down with me. 4, 3, 2, 1. Butterflies. Wow, another great surprise. Do you want to see one more surprise?
Yes.
Okay, Poppy Pig has a surprise for you this time. And to see what it is, we have to count down from the number 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, goodness! Now that was a big surprise. Thanks for surprising us, Grunty. One sunny afternoon, Miffy was at the beach with her father. She had been swimming in the sea. She came out of the water and dried herself with a pretty blue towel. Now she wanted to sit down in the sun and read her book. "You must be careful of the hot sun," said Father Bunny. "If you want to read, then you should lie in the shade." So Miffy found a shady place next to a colorful tent. She read a few pages of her book, but then the owners of the tent folded up the tent and left the beach. "Oh dear," thought Miffy. "Now I must find another shady place." "I know," said Father Bunny. "We have a beach umbrella in our car. I'll get it." He put the beach umbrella in the sand. Once again, Miffy could sit down in the shade. But after she had read just a few pages, the umbrella suddenly snapped shut. Father Bunny tried very hard to open it again. "I think the umbrella is broken, Miffy," Father Bunny said. Just then, a large cloud floated across the sky and blocked the sun. Miffy laughed. "Now the whole beach is in the shade," she said. But soon the cloud drifted away, and Miffy was in the hot sun again. There was nothing else to do but cover herself with her pretty blue towel. But there was a strong breeze, and the towel blew away. "Oh no," said Miffy. She didn't know what to do next. By this time, the sun was going down. "Now there's no problem, Father," said Miffy. "It will soon get dark." "Yes," said Father Bunny. "The hot sun is going down. But that also means that it's time to go home." Miffy was sorry that she had to go home, but she laughed at all the things she tried to do to stay out of the sun at the beach. She climbed into her father's car, and as he drove them home, she fell fast asleep and dreamt of the bright yellow sun.
A sweet little bunny, a smart little bunny, a cute little bunny, a sweet little bunny, a smart little bunny, a cute little bunny, and friends.
Experience the wonder online at www.sonywonder.com.